me that green light. Give me that Greenlight Maine. Give me that green light. Give me that Greenlight Maine. Give me that green light. Give me that Greenlight Maine. Give me that green light. Give me that Greenlight Maine.
Welcome to the Greenlight Maine College Edition, where you will meet some of the best and brightest students in Maine. To say they're impressive is an understatement because they'll make you proud of everything that's happening on campuses across the state. The way this works is 2 companies pitch each week to advance to the finals. The top 3 will be awarded thousands of dollars in cash to invest in their companies and grow Maine's economy. Before we begin, let's meet our panel of judges who have a lot of experience working in the startup community. Welcome Scott Blake from Bangor Savings Bank.
Thanks for having me. I'm super pleased to be here. So I'm the Chief Information Officer at Bangor Savings Bank, and that means that I run the technology operations and data analytics areas.
Perfect. Next up, we have Tom Kittredge from Maine Technology Institute.
It's a pleasure to be here. I'm a Senior Investment Officer at Maine Technology Institute. MTI is a nonprofit that exists to support innovation here in Maine, and I get to work with innovators all across the state to move their business and innovations forward.
And last but not least, we have Rich Brooks from Flight New Media.
Thanks for having me. I'm very excited to be here. I started Flight New Media 25 years ago, and we're a digital agency. We provide website services, social media, and SEO to companies in Maine and beyond.
Now, congratulations on your anniversary. It's time for our first pitch from the Northeastern University's Roux Institute. We have Michael Lemp from Skuild. Michael, whenever you're ready, take it away, look right at the judges, and have fun.
Thank you. Judges, work is not working. You may know someone who's been laid off, or someone who's tried to make a career switch, or someone who's been subject to the software and processes that their company uses, however outdated. I believe the future of work is one with an empowered employee. So that's the vision. Let's get to the MVP I'm pitching to you today. Students, of the 30 I talked to, 3/4 of them admitted they don't know where they want their career to take them. So how do they figure it out now? Current solutions are internships, co-ops, or just entry-level work. And these solutions are imperfect because they take so much time. You've never heard someone do 10 internships. But why does it have to be that way? What if you want 10 industry experiences at 10 companies or 10 roles? That's the solution I'm here to tell you about. I'm building a platform to help students and young professionals connect with project-based work from real-world companies. So what's in it for the companies? They get a talent pipeline, much like internships. And I'd say we even do it better. In the time they get 1 intern, you could have 4 of our Skilders, people who use our platform. And the companies that have been most receptive to us have been startups. I've reached out to a few who aren't, and it's been a little difficult to get them to take that leap with me. So the total addressable market, it's the cumulative amount of pay that interns get, specifically remote in the US. And that comes to about 22 billion to my estimate. It's a pretty big number, it's kind of hefty. And then the revenue model. I know what it's like to do a reverse paid internship, so I will never charge anyone to work. Instead, I want to offer a subscription model for companies to get premium features on our platform. And then also, similar to Starbucks wallets, between the transaction, we can make money, or we can make revenue based on liquid investments. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much. This experience has been phenomenal. Love to answer your questions.
Great pitch, a great platform. I can't wait to see where this goes. All right, Scott, kick us off.
All right, well, I have a lot of questions. I guess I'll start with what is the, who makes the choice? Is the student picking the company picking the student? How does that work?
Yes, so I'm all about customer obsession, and my customer is chiefly the student. So they get to choose the role. And I think this works well for companies because companies need to post what they need to get done.
Tom.
Great, yeah, I think it's an amazing idea, and I definitely, it resonates with me, the idea of being a college student and wanting to try out a few different things. In terms of kind of the structure, are students doing this during their school days? When would students be doing these projects?
Yes, so it's meant to be as most accessible as possible. So to be able to do it during classes, in time that you have between weekends, for example. So it's asynchronous and remote work.
Rich.
I'm just thinking like a business owner here, and how do I vet the students or understand where their skills lie? Is that going to be part of the platform?
Yes, definitely. And I'll admit, at the beginning, it's going to be really tough for me. But once someone has history on our platform, that'll be a really valuable resource to business owners.
Scott.
So I guess what I'm thinking about is how are the companies going to have the understanding, the knowledge that the student has the skills, but also maybe is a good culture fit? Because often, in a job interview, there's lots of back and forth to get to that point. How do we do that with Skuild?
Yeah, so if you've used Uber, you can kind of give little like shout outs to the driver. There was great conversation or well, good speed, for example. There can be attributes like that onto someone's work experience. And then if you want more detailed explanations in different fields, we have tree visualizations for each industry where the base is the fundamentals of that discipline. And then other branches higher up are smaller topics they might know or not.
Great analogy. Tom.
And how do you ensure that students are fairly compensated for the work they're doing for these companies?
Yes, so we would like them to be paid, and I'm still talking with companies to figure out if that's possible. It ideally will be.
So your goal is that these are paid internships, and if
Yes.
they're not, is there any other sort of benefit or kind of experiential quality that you're hoping that students will gain?
Yeah, so definitely the network, right? They're going to be meeting these people, albeit it is remote, but still you have someone who knows the quality of work you can deliver, and that could be turned into an in-person opportunity.
Thanks.
Rich.
Often with internships, there's college credit, things are run through the classrooms. Is there a role for professors or other educators in your plan?
Not my direct plan as it is. It's definitely something to explore, as there are similar programs that use professors. I think right now it would be a little bit too much of a headache to bring in a third party to have to connect with.
What market are you thinking about starting this in?
So specifically in computer science, it's what I know best. I've worked in it, I'm studying it, and I think it's a great mode to start, as they have the ticket system.
Absolutely. Well, you did a great job with your pitch and answering all the questions. We can't wait to see where you go with this.
Thank you very much.
All right, it is time to take a short break, but when we come back, Thomas College is on deck and they are planting the seeds in a big way. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsor, so don't go away.
Bangor Savings Bank, committed to investing in its employees, customers, and communities to help create a stronger Northern New England. Bangor Savings Bank. You matter more.
Maine Technology Institute, offering grants, loans, and equity investments to help support Maine's innovation economy and committed to supporting new ideas with potential to grow. Visit mainetechnology.org. Hey Maine, how are you? Yes, you. How are you really? It's a question we rarely ask ourselves. But to Northern Light Health, how you are means a lot. Learn more at northernlighthealth.org/howareyou.
Welcome back to the Greenlight Maine College Edition. Our second company has a great idea for your green thumb. From Thomas College, welcome Dimitri Hodgson with Family Seeds. Whenever you're ready, take it away.
Thank you guys so much for having me. Really appreciate being here. My name is Dimitri Hodgson. I'm here today pitching my idea for Family Seeds. I understand this competition is not lacking in world-changing ideas and inventions. However, Family Seeds is not that. Family Seeds isn't trying to change the world, nor could it. Family Seeds is simply trying to provide one thing: a way for Maine families to reconnect with one each other. Personally, I believe our society is facing an epidemic of loss. We are so connected with social media, our phones, work, the stresses of life, that we're losing our understanding and sight of what's really important: family. We're so connected that we lose grasp of what's really important. That's why I created Family Seeds, not to win a competition, not to sell a product, simply to provide one thing and share one idea: that family is vital for the longevity of a stable society. So what exactly is my product? Family Seeds is a monthly-based subscription service allowing families in Maine to order highly customized seed kits that not only provide a long-term connective experience through gardening and cooking, but also provides an impact on the child's life that will last a lifetime. As Reagan said, all great change in America begins at the dinner table. I fully agree with this and internalized it both in my company, but also my life. As an adopted child, I believe that family is the most important for any child for growth. The best thing you can give to your child is time. That's what Family Seed is doing, offering means to an end. A way for you to spend time with your children without worrying about what to do or how to do it. This is a long-term connective experience. Currently, Family Seed's target market is around Maine's grandparents and families. However, for expansion, we have around 85 million people in the nation who are families, 45% of which have children under 18. Currently, manufacturing and distribution is straightforward. We would work with a local Maine company, manufacturing agency, to distribute and handle logistics while using a website to not only handle online sales, but provide easier access for older people, as well as offering easier access for people who are quite busy in their lives. Currently, the price for Family Seed's gift boxes is around $35 to $50. However, this is dependent as because the product is highly customizable. Family Seed is offering a unique benefit to my target market. It's offering a long-term experience that means much more to a kid than a 30-second TikTok ad, much more than a 5-minute meal conversation, and much more than a 1-hour movie night. I believe Family Seed is offering the chance for families to reconnect through a long-term connective experience. Thank you guys for having me, and I really appreciate being here. Thank you.
Nice job. And I can't wait to see all the gardens in people's backyards.
Man, I'm sweating. Woo.
All right, let's kick off the questions with Scott.
So, so many questions again. I guess the first one would be, is there, in the seed kits, so obviously you'll send the seeds, but are there educational materials, things like that, that might help the family come together?
So all the kits would actually offer not only a little pamphlet with descriptions of the seeds they're using, the history, the uses, traditional uses, modern uses, but also providing ways to not only tips and tricks to grow, but also what to use in dishes. So for example, if you're using basil, rosemary, both have more of a faster maturity rate for growth. They would offer both history on it. Back in the medieval ages, they would use both of these quite frequently, but also what to use them in dishes and such.
Tom.
Great, I think it's a really interesting idea. Is this something that, are the seeds meant to be grown indoors, outdoors, both?
It depends, but however, usually we recommend indoors because it's warmer, you can have natural light near a window and such, but depending on the seed, some may survive outside. But this is Maine, so colder climates, especially during fall and winter.
Okay.
Dimitri, walk me through the ordering process. How often am I going to be ordering, and how much diversity or choice do I get when I'm choosing my seeds?
All right, great question, thank you. So again, it really does depend on the expansion of the company. The nice thing about Family Seeds is it's easy to start up, it's cheap to start up, but it's also cheap and easy to expand due to the fact that it has online shipping as well as relying on a marketing or manufacturing agency for logistics and distribution. A parent would, of course, go into the website, pick how old their kid is, pick how what they want to do with it, how long they want. You could be looking at 1 to 2 months for one package, or possibly 3 to 4 months, depending on how long they want. We're not necessarily trying to make a profit. It's more so about the connective experience and the idea of connecting families. So I believe that depending on what they want in the customization, they can choose from a variety of different seeds. However, we're going to stay with more fast-growing herbs and spices for now, of course.
I'd be hard-pressed to come up with a kid who didn't do a science project in elementary school that had something to do with growing things next to each other and all of that. Have you thought about the science lesson possibilities as well?
Oh, of course. I mean, while we're not necessarily focused solely on education, there's tons of products that are trying to teach children, because again, I believe Family Seed's unique benefit is a long-term benefit and connective experience that has an impact on the child's brain and growth, more so than just the educational means, but the pamphlets would also include things like that as well.
Well, some great questions by our judges, some great answers, very social responsible. So just wishing you the best of luck.
Well, thank you, and I hope people go home and say they love you. They love you to their mom or dad or kid or what have you. Because again, I'm not trying to sell a product, I'm not trying to win the competition. I'm just trying to spread an idea that family is vital, and a lot of people are losing that.
All right, Dimitri, thank you. Well, we have to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to hear from our judges, so don't go away. We'll be right back. Come on over. Yep.
Well done. Good.
Great job.
Thank you, guys.
Nice job.
Through their efforts to support Maine entrepreneurs who are growing our economy, Greenlight Maine is making our state a better place to start and operate a business. For these efforts and the creation of a robust entrepreneurial ecosystem, the Harold Alfond Institute for Business Innovation at Thomas College is proud to be a sponsor of Greenlight Maine.
Fame came along at a time when we really needed somebody to believe in our mission.
It's so nice to have somebody actually try to understand what we're doing.
Fame helps Maine businesses and lenders get to yes for their financing needs.
Thank you, Fame.
Thank you, Fame.
Thank you, Fame.
Martins Point Generations Advantage, offering comprehensive Medicare Advantage plans. Information at martinspoint.org.
Welcome back to the Greenlight Maine College Edition. It's time for our judges to deliberate, but before we begin, for our viewers at home, we're going to review the criteria, which is scalability, feasibility, innovation, overall quality, and the ability to stay in Maine and create jobs, and that's what everybody wants. So only because Michael pitched first, let's start with Skuild.
Okay. Sounds good. So it's an intriguing idea. I think he's really hit on something that is a need, and I think there is a market for this. I'm actually really especially interested in the talent tree idea of that kind of visual representation of different levels of things. I think there's something in there that's very interesting. I'm a little worried about it just because of the legal aspects and the HR and the hiring, and that can get complex. So it's not the simplest of ideas, but I think there's a market for it.
Yeah, it could get expensive, hiring attorneys and all that to work it out, sure. Yeah. Okay, Tom.
Yeah, I thought it was a really fascinating idea, and it certainly, I think there's a real problem there that he's looking to solve, and I think we all remember being in our 20s, about to enter the professional world, and the ability to go out and experience all these different opportunities, I think could be really valuable for the participants. And then from the company's side, I think there's also an opportunity to fill a need at the businesses. I'm not entirely convinced that a subscription model is the best way to start, at least for this business. I'm not sure that businesses are going to want to pay a fee to access the platform, and they may want to explore some other revenue models initially, at least. But it's an exciting idea, and I'm curious to see where it goes.
I like how he said he's a computer science major, and so if he just starts right there with that niche, it could go far.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the whole plan should really start as narrow as possible, and I thought that there were some great opportunities there. I love the idea, it's almost like speed dating, both for the students as well as for companies like mine to kind of get an understanding of how somebody might work within the company. So that was all great. He did identify some competitors that might be out there already, even internships and co-ops. There's also these companies like Elance, so he needs to be kind of aware of those sort of things. I think finding that core group of people who see his vision and building slowly from there is probably the best way to really get buy-in for this vision that he's created.
Nice. Okay, Dimitri and Family Seeds.
Yeah. Also, I think a really interesting idea. I think there's the product is really interesting, and the idea of creating the emotional connection with the customer is key. I think that's really the thing that's going to be the core element of his success, assuming it is successful. And I love the idea also of the educational elements and pulling all those things together. I think it's a great idea that he's working with.
Very passionate.
Definitely.
Yeah, you could see the passion. You can tell how important his own background, his own family experience was, and how it really was driving him forward. And I thought that was very powerful. So I think it's a really interesting idea. I love the idea of fostering connectivity in a time when that's more difficult. I am curious about kind of the potential barriers to entry and what's keeping, for example, a seed manufacturer who's already selling seeds from kind of taking the education component. So I think really focusing in on how it's differentiated from what's out there and kind of creating that secret sauce, I think will be important for them.
Yeah, you learned a lot off camera, and you guys talked about some marketing, and that's where you step into that piece.
Yeah, I think the idea is great, and I love the opportunity for families to kind of bond over this. I was kind of curious to learn a little bit more about what might arrive in the kits and how to keep the conversation going. And like you were saying, it is tough because there's already so many seed companies out there. So how do you create something that's truly remarkable that people will be attracted to and go out of their way to find? I think that there is some opportunity here, but there's definitely some challenges ahead.
It's going to be so wonderful to see where these guys go, because I know whatever they do, they're going to be a huge success. All right, we're going to give you some time to come up with your decision, and we're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we're going to have the winner, so don't go away. We'll be right back. If you own a business and want to get more involved with Greenlight Maine, go to our website at greenlightmaine.com. Partnering with us means supporting startups, creating jobs, and building Maine's economy.
Maine Technology Institute, offering grants, loans, and equity investments to help support Maine's innovation economy and committed to supporting new ideas with potential to grow. Visit mainetechnology.org.
Albin, Randall, and Bennett, committed to providing accounting solutions to Greenlight Maine startups, working with businesses and organizations that operate locally and nationally. ARBCPA.com.
Bangor Savings Bank, committed to investing in its employees, customers, and communities to help create a stronger Northern New England. Bangor Savings Bank. You matter more.
What's harder than starting a business? Getting a business to grow successfully. This is what is referred to in the entrepreneur community as scale, and scale is the brass ring that everyone is chasing. The reason that scale is so difficult to achieve is that in the early stages of a business, the entrepreneur is doing everything they can in order to find the right offer, the right business model, and actually who their ideal customer is. As a result, they are what we like to say working in the business, but not working on the business. In order to scale, an entrepreneur needs to evolve their business as quickly as possible into a system of systems. This creates a level of consistency in the product or service and how it's delivered to the customer. Have you ever marveled at how truly efficient McDonald's really is? Without being a system of systems, they'd never have been able to scale at the individual restaurant level, let alone become a worldwide franchise. How else could a multi-billion-dollar business be operated successfully, primarily by young adults, with no other formal training, if McDonald's wasn't a system of systems? So for all of you entrepreneurs, the question shouldn't be how quickly can I scale my business. The question should be how effectively can I make my business become a system of systems.
Welcome back to the Greenlight Maine College Edition. We just watched Thomas College and the Root Institute pitch. It was very close and our judges had to make a tough decision, and it all comes down to this moment. Judges, I'm going to count you down. 3, 2, 1. And that means Skuild gets the green light. Congratulations to Michael. You are moving on in the competition. Well, that's all the time that we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us and supporting entrepreneurism in Maine. You can see all of our episodes on greenlightmaine.com. We'll be right back here next week, so join us then. Until then, have a safe and successful week. All right, congratulations.
Greenlight Maine would not be possible without the support of all of our corporate sponsors. Thank you.
Furniture for Greenlight Maine is provided by Chilton, a Maine company offering a modern take on traditional New England wood furniture. Hotel accommodations for Greenlight Maine are provided by Hilton Garden Inn, Auburn, Riverwatch.